Hello students, I hope all of you are doing very well in all aspects of life. So today we are going to see what is the difference between minimal polynomial and the primitive polynomial. In on this channel we have already seen what is Galois field. We have started to proceed towards the cyclic course. Before that we must understand the concepts of Galois field, then its addition, subtraction, addition and multiplication rules that are covered on this channel. Then we have seen how to go to the extension field, how to find the elements of the extension field, how to find the elements in terms of mod of primitive polynomial. Then we have obtained the minimal, recently we have obtained the minimal polynomials of Galois field 8 with different, with two primitive polynomials considering one at a time. So so this much we have covered before proceeding towards the cyclic course. So the main question arises in the mind that what is the difference between primitive polynomial and the minimal polynomial. So that we are going to see today. So one request to all of you is that please subscribe to the channel, because most of the students are viewing the videos, so asking for the PDFs, but they are not subscribing to the channel. So if you like these contents or like the concepts that are delivered on this channel, then you can subscribe. Also, if you like the content, or you got something different from the regular method of understanding, then you can like to this video. So let us see what is the difference between the primitive polynomial and the minimal polynomial. So we have seen Galois field 8, so that is 2 raised to 3, extension field of Galois field 2. So what we have seen, that we get this equation. This is already covered previously. So in Galois field 8 we got this: x raised to 7 plus 1 is equal to x plus 1, x cube plus x square plus 1, and here I am writing it x cube plus x plus 1. So this is the factorization of x raised to 7 plus 1. Actually this is also the factorization of x raised to x is x plus 1, then x cube plus x square plus 1, x cube plus x plus 1. So in some books you will get this, or in other books you will get this. So it's better to remember this one. Here x is not written here, only difference is that. Now for understanding the minimal polynomial, you concentrate on this equation. This was already derived in the previous video, where we have obtained the minimal polynomials of Galois field 8. So Galois field 8 has the minimal polynomials x plus 1, then x cube plus x square plus 1, then x cube plus x plus 1. These three are the minimal polynomials of the Galois field 8. Okay, so what is the similarities and what are the differences between minimal polynomial and the primitive polynomial? So one thing is that the minimal polynomials are factor of x raised to 7 plus 1. So x raised to 7 plus 1 means Galois field 8 means Galois field 2 raised to 3. So these are factors of 2 raised to 3 means 8 minus 1 plus 1. So minimal polynomials are factors of Galois field, minimal polynomials are factors of x raised to 2 raised to m minus 1 plus 1. Okay, or in other words we can say, if Galois field 2 raised to m you are constructing, then minimal polynomials are factors of x raised to 2 raised to m minus 1 plus 1. Okay, or we can say x raised to 2 raised to m plus x. Both are same. Compare करेंगे if we compare this, Galois field 2 raised to 3, that is Galois field 8, then it is the minimal polynomials are factors of 2 raised to 3 minus 1 plus 1, or x raised to 2 raised to 3 plus x. This is equal to x raised to 7 plus 1 or x raised to 8 plus x. Okay, so minimal polynomials are factors of, so I have shown you the correlation between the Galois extension field and that x raised to 7 plus 1. So minimal polynomials are, first point, minimal polynomials are factors of x raised to 2 raised to m minus 1 plus 1 over of the field, over ne, of the field gf 2 raised to m. Okay, so this is one point. Then second point is primitive polynomial is a minimal polynomial. That means primitive polynomial should be a minimal polynomial, but all minimal polynomials are not primitive polynomial. Okay, so primitive polynomial is a minimal polynomial. That means amongst these there is one primitive polynomial. These are minimal polynomials of g of 8. So amongst these there is a primitive polynomial. Now what are extra features that carries primitive polynomial carries, that we are going to see. So extra feature is that primitive polynomial has a root alpha. This is one condition. Its root should be alpha. That means primitive element should be the root of primitive polynomial. Then 4. Primitive polynomial divide. Bear with my handwriting please. Divide, primitive polynomial divide x raised to 2 raised to m minus 1 plus 1. That is here x raised to 7 plus 1 here. Why here? For g of 8. It divides x raised to 7 plus 1. But do not divide any power less than 2 raised to m minus 1. Means it divides x raised to 7 plus 1 but not x raised to 6 plus 1, x raised to 5 plus 1, x raised to 4 plus 1, x raised to 3 plus 1, x raised to 2 plus 1, x raised to x plus 1. So it divides only x raised to 7 plus 1, but not less than the degree 7. That means x raised to 6 plus 1, x raised to 5 plus 1, likewise. So these are two important criteria for the primitive polynomial, that it has a root alpha and it divides. Suppose it is g of 8, so it it should divide only x raised to 7 plus 1. Okay, so that are differences between different, that are the special features of primitive polynomial than the minimal polynomial. We have seen in GF8 that primitive polynomial has, suppose we have taken the primitive polynomial x cube plus x plus 1. There it has root alpha alpha square alpha raised to 4. Then x plus 1 has root 1, that is alpha raised to 0, and x cube plus x square plus 1 has root alpha cube alpha 5 alpha raised to 6. This was already covered. So so primitive polynomial has root alpha, so it is not primitive polynomial here. Okay, if you take this take this as a primitive polynomial, then it should satisfy the criteria that it should divide only x raised to 7 plus 1, not x raised to 6 plus 1, 5 plus 1, like that, and it has the root alpha. In a GF8, this can also be used as a primitive polynomial, and this can also be used as a primitive polynomial, that we have already seen. So I hope you understood the difference between minimal polynomial and the primitive polynomial. So where we have started, for understanding that, you should know first what is the extension field. So here the extension field is what? GF8, that is 2 raised to 3. If it is GF16, that is 2 raised to what? 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 4. GF16, then 2 raised to 4, then it is x raised to 15 plus 1. इसके सब फैक्टर यहाँ पे आएंगे, x raised to 15 plus 1. Here we are understanding about x raised to GF8. So x raised to 7 plus 1 factors are these, or x raised to 8 plus x. But don't go with this, it will create confusion. So 8 x raised to 7 plus 1, 16 x raised to 15 plus 1. Then these are the factors. So all these factors are minimal polynomials. Okay, but amongst these minimal polynomial, there is one primitive polynomial. Okay, so primitive polynomial is a minimal polynomial, but all minimal polynomials are not primitive polynomial. Now what is again another extra, what are other features of primitive polynomial? That it should divide, this primitive polynomial should divide only x raised to 7 plus 1, not x raised to 5, x raised to 6 plus 1, x raised to 5 plus 1, lesser degrees. Okay, if it is x raised to 15 plus 1, then this primitive polynomial any primitive polynomial should divide only x raised to 15 plus 1, not x raised to 14 plus 1, x raised to 13 plus 1, likewise. And that primitive polynomial should have the root alpha. So these are two features of the primitive polynomial than the minimal polynomial. So you can correlate this with x raised to 16 also, that is extension field GF 2 raised to 4. I hope you understood this concept, that primitive polynomial is nothing but a minimal polynomial, but all minimal polynomials are not primitive, and the primitive polynomial has the root alpha, and it must divide x raised to, it only divides x raised to 2 raised to m minus 1 plus 1, or x in GF8 it is x raised to 7 plus 1, and in GF16 it should divide only divides x raised to 15 plus 1, not less than 15 plus 1, that is x raised to 14 plus 1, x raised to 13 plus 1, like that. Okay, so this is the difference between minimal polynomials and minimal polynomial and the primitive polynomial. And one thing is that all these polynomials or minimal polynomials are irreducible over their base field, that is GF2. On GF2 there are no factors of that minimal polynomial. Okay, so if you like this content, once again I am telling, subscribe to the channel, and if you like this concept, then also put a like button on this video.